What's it like living in a city where ICE raids are the talk of every taco stand? Trump's 2025 deportation blitz is shaking things up, with vans rolling in and neighbors swapping nervous glances. We're spilling the beans on the top 10 U.S. cities caught in this wild storm, dishing out the stats, stories, and why these spots are ICE's hot picks. Buckle up. It's juicy, it's real, and it's happening now. Ready to see who's on the list? Let's roll. Number 10. Denver, Colorado. Denver, the mile-high city where snow-capped Rockies meet craft breweries and a vibe that's equal parts outdoorsy and urban cool. But in 2025, Denver's got a new kind of storm brewing. ICE raids are sweeping through, and the city's immigrant communities are feeling the pressure. Known for its progressive policies and a growing Latino population, Denver's caught in the crosshairs of Trump's deportation machine. According to posts on X from January 20th, 2025, Denver is one of the first cities confirmed for major deportation operations this year. So, what's the deal? Denver's home to over 100,000 immigrants, with around 40,000 undocumented, per estimates from the Migration Policy Institute. The city's sanctuary policies, which limit cooperation with ICE, have made it a prime target for federal enforcement. Since Trump took office in January, ICE has ramped up arrests here, with reports of over 1,200 detentions in Colorado alone by March 2025, many in Denver's suburbs like Aurora. The administration's focus on criminal aliens means anyone with even a minor offense, like a traffic ticket, could be at risk. But here's the kicker. Denver's not just a number on ICE's list. Families are being torn apart, and local businesses, especially in construction and hospitality, are feeling the labor pinch. Community groups are fighting back, organizing legal aid clinics, but the fear is palpable. Fun fact, Denver's mayor has publicly criticized the crackdown, calling it inhumane, yet federal agents aren't slowing down. If you're in Denver, the city's still got its charm, but for thousands, 2025 is a year of uncertainty. Number 9. San Antonio, Texas. Welcome to San Antonio, where the Riverwalk sparkles, Tex-Mex reigns supreme, and history whispers from the Alamo's walls. But beneath the city's vibrant culture, a wave of ICE operations is shaking things up in 2025. Let's talk numbers. San Antonio's home to about 1.5 million people, with over 15% foreign-born, and roughly 90,000 undocumented immigrants, according to the Pew Research Center. Texas has always been a focal point for immigration enforcement, and Trump's policies are doubling down. ICE data shows 20,300 deportations from the San Antonio area in February and March 2025, with agents targeting neighborhoods like the West Side. The administration's use of the Alien Enemies Act to fast-track deportations of suspected gang members, especially Venezuelans tied to Tren de Aragua, has added fuel to the fire. What's driving this? San Antonio's proximity to the border, just 150 miles from Mexico, makes it a strategic hub for ICE. Plus, the city's mixed record on sanctuary policies has created tension between local leaders and federal agents. Stories of families hiding in churches or skipping work to avoid raids are spreading fast. On the flip side, some locals support the crackdown, citing public safety. It's a divisive issue, but one thing's clear. San Antonio's warm hospitality is being tested by a cold enforcement reality. Number 8. Houston, Texas. Houston, the sprawling giant of Texas, where skyscrapers tower, barbecue sizzles, and diversity is the name of the game. But in 2025, this melting pot is also ground zero for Trump's deportation push. Here's the scoop. Houston's metro area has over 7 million people, with nearly 25% foreign-born. The Migration Policy Institute estimates 400,000 undocumented immigrants live here, one of the largest populations in the U.S. ICE's focus on mass deportations has led to over 3,500 arrests in Houston since January, per NBC News, with a mix of criminal and non-criminal deportees. The Trump administration's self-deportation program, offering $1,000 and a free flight to leave voluntarily, kicked off with a charter flight from Houston in early May 2025. Why Houston? Its size, diversity, and history of lax local enforcement make it a magnet for IC. Neighborhoods like Gulfton and Spring Branch are seeing increased patrols, and stories of mistaken deportations, like U.S. citizens caught in raids, are raising alarms. Local schools are reporting absenteeism as families fear leaving home. Yet, Houston's economy, heavily reliant on immigrant labor in oil, construction, and healthcare, is starting to wobble. This city's got heart, but right now, it's beating a little faster with worry. Number 7. Dallas, Texas. Dallas, where big dreams meet bigger hair, and the skyline sparkles with ambition. But in 2025, this North Texas powerhouse is also a front line in Trump's immigration crackdown. Let's break it down. Dallas has a population of 1.3 million, with about 20% foreign-born and an estimated 200,000 undocumented immigrants, per Pew Research. ICE's aggressive tactics, including courthouse arrests and workplace raids, have led to 2,000 deportations from the Dallas area in early 2025, according to the New York Times. The administration's push to hire 20,000 new deportation officers is boosting operations here, with agents targeting communities like Oak Cliff and Pleasant Grove. What's the vibe? Dallas's sanctuary city debates have long been contentious, and Trump's executive order stripping federal funds from such cities has put local leaders in a bind. Families are turning to churches for sanctuary, and legal advocates are swamped. Meanwhile, some residents cheer the crackdown, citing crime concerns. Dallas's economy, from tech to retail, relies on immigrant workers, so the ripple effects are real. This city's still got its swagger, but for many, 2025 is a year of looking over their shoulders. Number 6. Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix, where the sun's so hot it could grill your breakfast burrito and the desert vibe screams freedom with a side of cactus. But hold up, 2025's serving a different kind of heat, with ICE raids turning this sprawling metro into a deportation hotspot. So what's cooking? Phoenix's metro area packs 5 million folks, with about 10% born abroad. The Pew Research Center pegs 250,000 undocumented immigrants here, making it a neon sign for ICE. Since January, over 2,800 people have been nabbed in Maricopa County, per ABC 15 Arizona's May 2025 reports. Trump's crew is zeroing in on public safety threats, so even a speeding ticket could land you on a bus out. Neighborhoods like Maryvale and South Phoenix are buzzing with ICE vans, and the vibe's tense. Why's Phoenix in the spotlight? Its history of hardline sheriffs like Joe Arpaio laid the groundwork, and Trump's picking up the playbook. The self-deportation deal, $1,000 and a free flight to Split, has tempted a few dozen locals, says NBC News. But the real story? Families are skipping school, taquerias are short-staffed, and fear's thicker than the summer humidity. Fun fact, Phoenix's mayor tried to cool things down with trust-building talks, but ICE isn't here for the warm fuzzies. This desert oasis is still a stunner, but for thousands, it's less land of opportunity and more look over your shoulder in 2025. Number 5. Chicago, Illinois. Chicago, where deep dish pizza's a love language, the skyline sparkles like a jazz riff, and every block's a cultural mashup. But in 2025, the Windy City's catching a chilly gust from Trump's deportation storm, with ICE raids stealing the headlines. Let's slice into it. Chicago's got 2.7 million residents, with 20% born outside the U.S. The Migration Policy Institute counts about 180,000 undocumented folks here, a big enough crowd to catch ICE's eye. Since February, 1,900 arrests have rocked the city, per the Chicago Tribune's May 2025 tally. Chicago's sanctuary city status, telling cops to give ICE the cold shoulder, has Trump's team fuming. Areas like Pilsen and Little Village are seeing ICE agents pop up like uninvited party crashers, and folks are dodging markets and bus stops to stay safe. What's the deal? Chicago's loud and proud resistance to federal immigration rules makes it a bullseye. Trump's executive order yanking $200 million in federal grants from sanctuary cities, per local reports, is hitting hard. The zero-tolerance policy means even grandma with an expired visa could be on the hook. Churches are turning into safe zones, and legal aid hotlines are ringing off the hook. Fun fact, Chicago's got a history of rallying, with protests against the raids drawing thousands. This city's heart beats strong, but right now, it's racing with worry for a whole lot of families. Number 4. Miami, Florida. Miami, where palm trees sway, mojitos flow, and every street feels like a salsa dance-off. But in 2025, this tropical paradise is also ICE's main stage, with deportation raids cranking up the drama. Miami-Dade County's home to 2.7 million people, with a whopping 50% born abroad, highest on our list. Pew Research estimates 300,000 undocumented immigrants, mostly from Latin America and the Caribbean, call this place home. ICE has rounded up over 3,000 folks since January, per the Miami Herald's May 2025 reports. Sweeps are hitting Hialeah and Little Havana hard, and Trump's use of the Alien Enemies Act to nab suspected gang members, like Venezuelans tied to Tren de Aragua, has sparked chaos, with some saying innocent folks are getting caught in the net. Why Miami? Its rainbow of immigrant cultures and role as a Latin American gateway make it ICE's golden ticket. Florida's cozy relationship with federal enforcement, thanks to Governor DeSantis, is greasing the wheels. Construction sites and hotel kitchens are ghost towns as workers vanish. Community groups are hustling with legal aid, but the fear's thicker than Miami traffic. Fun fact, Miami's mayor's playing it cool, dodging hot takes on the raids to avoid a political pickle. This city's still a vibe, but for many in 2025, it's less party in the city where the heat is on, and more keep the blinds shut. Number 3. New York City, New York. New York City, where dreams are as big as the skyscrapers, bagels are a religion, and every subway ride's a cultural adventure. But in 2025, the Big Apple's got a bitter bite, with ICE raids turning the city that never sleeps into one that's wide awake with worry. NYC's got 8.3 million people, with a whopping 37% born abroad, over 3 million immigrants. The Migration Policy Institute estimates 500,000 undocumented folks live here, one of the largest groups in the U.S. Since January, ICE has nabbed over 4,200 people citywide, per the New York Times May 2025 reports. Boroughs like Queens and the Bronx are seeing sweeps in neighborhoods like Jackson Heights and Mott Haven, where ICE's zero-tolerance policy is snagging everyone from street vendors to long-time residents. Why's NYC in the crosshairs? Its sanctuary city status, proudly shielding immigrants since the 1980s, is like waving a red flag at Trump's team. The administration's cut of $400 million in federal funds, per local news, is hitting city services hard. Trump's push to deport criminal aliens has led to arrests at courthouses and delis, sparking protests that shut down streets. Schools are half empty as kids stay home, and bodegas are struggling without workers. Fun fact, NYC's mayor is fighting back, vowing to protect immigrants, but ICE has got federal muscle and isn't blinking. This city's still a global icon, but for thousands in 2025, it's less city of dreams and more city of dread. Number 2. Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta, where Southern charm meets hip-hop beats, peach cobblers are a hug in food form, and the skyline screams big city ambition. But in 2025, Atlanta's feeling the heat of Trump's deportation crackdown, with ICE raids stirring up more drama than a reality TV finale. Atlanta's metro area has 6.3 million people, with 14% foreign-born. The Pew Research Center counts about 200,000 undocumented immigrants here, a mix from Latin America, Africa, and Asia. ICE has detained over 2,500 people since February, per the Atlanta Journal-Constitution's May 2025 reports. Neighborhoods like Chamblee and Clarkston, known as immigrant hubs, are crawling with agents, and Trump's focus on deporting public safety threats means even a jaywalking ticket could spell trouble. What's fueling this fire? Atlanta's not a sanctuary city, but its diverse suburbs and history of lax enforcement make it a magnet for ICE. Georgia's cooperation with federal immigration policies, unlike some states, gives agents a green light. The self-deportation program, offering $1,000 to leave, has seen a few takers, but most folks are hunkering down. Construction sites and restaurants are ghost towns as workers vanish, and churches are hosting Know Your Rights workshops. Fun fact, Atlanta's nicknamed the city too busy to hate, but right now it's plenty busy with fear. This southern star still shines, but for many, 2025's got a dark cloud overhead. Number 1. Los Angeles, California. Los Angeles, where palm trees dance, Hollywood sparkles, and every taco truck's a culinary masterpiece. But in 2025, LA's stealing the spotlight as the epicenter of Trump's deportation tsunami, with ICE raids hitting harder than a summer blockbuster. LA's metro area boasts 13 million people, with 34% born abroad, over 4 million immigrants. The Migration Policy Institute estimates a staggering 1 million undocumented folks live here, the largest in the nation. Since January, ICE has detained over 6,000 people, per the Los Angeles Times May 2025 reports, with sweeps tearing through East LA, Boyle Heights, and Koreatown. Trump's zero-tolerance policy, backed by the Alien Enemies Act, is targeting everyone from day laborers to grandmas, and mistakes, like deporting legal residents, are making headlines. Why's LA number 1? Its massive immigrant population, sanctuary state protections, and vocal defiance of federal policies make it ICE's ultimate prize. California's SB 54 law, limiting local cooperation with ICE, has Trump's team doubling down, with $500 million in federal funds slashed per local reports. The self-deportation program's first charter flight left LAX in March, but most are staying put, leaning on community networks. Film studios, restaurants, and construction are reeling as workers disappear. Fun fact, LA's mayor is rallying with protesters, but ICE's got 20,000 new officers on the ground, per executive order. This city's still a dreamer's paradise, but for 1 million souls in 2025, it's a heart-pounding cliffhanger. Which city's story hit you hardest? Are you seeing ICE vans in your neighborhood, or maybe you've got a hot take on the policy itself? Drop your thoughts, share this with your crew, and let's keep the convo going. America's always been a melting pot, but in 2025, it's simmering hotter than ever. Stay curious, stay kind, and we'll catch you next time for more Real Talk.